Hi, today we're going to show you how to control the temperature on your hot glue gun. These are just a few items that was purchased at our local Menards. This 4-square box, you'll need a 4-square box. This is a ground screw, but you can get a 1032 pan head screw that works just well. I had about a foot of extra number 14 gauge wire that I had lying around the house. We have a 6-foot power cord. It's a 14 gauge wire. We've got an outlet cover. This is called an industrial cover. One for a switch. It's got one side for a switch and one side for a receptacle. This is a double gang. We also purchased a dimmer. This is a 600 watt 120 volt dimmer, and this is what's going to control, or be the rheostat that will control the temperature on our hot glue gun. This is a receptacle, and it's called an Ivory. It was very cheap. I got this also at Menards. These are 3/8 non-metallic cable connectors, or we used to call them 3/8 Romex connectors. And so we have a number of those. It looks like we're ready to go, but you can buy a cord, a dimmer cord that you can get at probably at Menards or any other place, Home Depot. It could be $10 or $15. All this that I purchased here was a grand total of $14.40 plus tax. What I'm going to give you here is you're going to have a receptacle in that's going to control your hot glue gun, and then you're going to have a 120 volt outlet that you can plug into anything. This box here, when we're done, you can screw this to the side of your workbench. You can screw it to the wall next to where you're working. You can do just about anything. You can get it up out of the way so you don't have all these cords that are creating a problem or cluttering your workbench. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing I'm going to do is I have my diagonal cutters. I have a channel lock pliers wrench, my utility knife, and a Phillips screwdriver. So the first thing is I'm going to pick a center knockout, a 1/2 inch KO knockout. This is what they refer to that in the trade. We're going to take that out. We're going to get one of these Romex connectors. I think we got these for $1.40, and I think I've got 4 of them. So we're just going to undo that, and we're going to go ahead and screw this and tighten it up to the end here. This actually goes by pretty quick. For the same price that you could buy a real cheap one that's not really going to do what you want, you can buy all the parts for this, put it together, and probably it'll last you a lot longer. I like to straighten up these screws, make sure they're nice and straight. That looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm going to open these up a little bit. Okay, I've just got my Phillips screwdriver. These are actually set so you could use a regular screwdriver. I'm going to set that to the side. You can take this ground screw, just put it in here for right now. In this particular box, they've made an indentation in this so that when the ground screw is out, that it'll sit flat on the table, or it'll sit flat on whatever you're doing. If you happen to have a 4-square box where this sticks out, like it would stick out the back on the side here, just take your hacksaw or grinder and just grind it off smooth. So this is ready to go. Now we're going to go ahead and get our cord. Now this is a 6-foot cord. The first one I made was 10 feet long, but this is only 6. This will be fine. So you go ahead and strip it back and trim off some of this right here. Now, don't throw that little piece away. What I'm going to do is cut it in half like that. And then what I want to do here is I'm going to put it around here so when this clamps on this, that it's got a little stress relief. Let's see if it works. If it doesn't, then we'll just take it off. And you put all your wires through. I'm just going to tuck that in there. it's not quite working with that one. So we're just going to loosen. I'm just going to loosen it up just a little bit more, see if we can get that to go through. If not, then we'll just take it off and we'll throw it away. It's not necessarily important that you do it, but it just gives a little bit more, so you don't squish your cables as much. Let's just try it one more time here, see if I can get this to do that. Okay, that's not going to fit through this one, so we'll just take that one off, throw it away. And we'll bring this one right in there. And you just put the wires through so they stick out a little bit. Tighten this down. You don't want to just squish them down really, really hard, but what you want to do is to make it real tight. Okay, that looks really nice, okay? We've got our wires here. Now something that we're going to do here is I'm going to take, this was some 14-3 wire that I had laying around the house. This is 14 gauge wire also. So what we're going to do is just bend a little loop in it like that. This 14 gauge is really, really soft. Okay, and so we're just going to tighten that down on that wire. Now if you look, it's nice and flat. You can't see the screw that sits down nice and level. This will give us our grounding for this. And we have a ground here. We open up our dimmer. It comes with 2 knobs. You can put whatever color you want. It also comes with screws. Looks like this one even comes with 3 knobs. We're just going to put that over there. It has 2 screws and 3 wire nuts with it. We'll just take those out. Okay. Now this has a ground screw here. Also, this has a ground screw here. What we're going to do here is I'm going to take this red one. Oh, I need another tool. Okay. I'm going to cut this red wire in about half. And then what we're going to do right here is I'm going to strip it back a little bit. Okay. Now this is my receptacle. What I want to do here is it's got this little key in here. You can see that up there. What you want to do is you want to break that or cut it. But you want to make sure that you break it and it clears so that it doesn't go back and touch each other. Okay? So, with that being the case, we're going to strip some wires back. Yeah, you go about 1 inch. These wires, I bend it like that, put a little hook in it. Same thing with this one right here, about 1 inch. Little hook. And then I'm going to use this top one for the dimmer, and I'm going to use the bottom one for just regular power on this. Okay, see, we got that. We also have a ground one here. We're going to take this ground one. We're going to cut it. And we're going to put that right there. Okay, so everything's going to be nicely grounded when we're done. Okay, so we've got all these wires hanging out here. We'll just cut that at the same length. Now, when I did cut this key out, I cut the silver one. You got to make sure you cut the bronze one, not the silver one. That was the neutral. So I could just cut that key out. So I'm just going to do this. You may find out that you did that, but so what do you do if you do? That's a good question. So if by chance you find out that you cut that, just make a little loop here. Wire, tighten them all up. Now this receptacle has a couple interesting things here. Is you can either tighten the screws up here and use them, or you can do a quick push in the connection here. See, you just push that in there and it's connected. Okay, so you may find out that if you did cut the silver, you can always tell the bigger slot is the neutral, the littler slot is always the hot. So what happens here is if you find out you cut the wrong key, you can go ahead and put this little wire loop in there like a little jumper. So we did cut the proper one, which is the brass screws. That's cut and it's nicely cleared out. Still like to get that a little bit more. Okay, just so it can't touch. Really won't matter a lot. It's on the same polarity. Now we can cut this one off at the same length here. Okay, so the receptacle's all done. Now what for this one right here is you can pull these. You got to take these ears off for this industrial cover. So you just grab your pliers. These are kind of scored, so you can take these off like this. Okay. So you go ahead and do that. And you just pull these screws out for right now. And I'll show you what they're going to do. You're going to save them, so don't let them go. Okay, so you've got this. Just pull that cover off there. Now, on this dimmer, it's hooked in series. And if you look here, this one should say top. It says up on here, but a lot of times they'll say top. So this is where it's going to be the top of this switch, whichever side we choose. Let's go ahead and open this up. Okay. This comes with some screws and two little nuts. You got to hang on to those also. Okay. So we'll just kind of open that up. We'll put these screws right to the side here. These are screws that came with this. Okay. What we're going to do here is we're going to strip this back a little bit. Just about maybe 5/8 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch on all these wires. Okay. So this is ready. All the wires are stripped. These are pre-stripped. Everything's ready to go. So what I would do, let's wire this up first, and then we'll, actually no, we're not. We're going to have it go like this, so we're going to put this in there. So you grab this small screw and you put it in here and you tighten it up. Now, according to the code, it changed a while back ago, that's all you used to have to do, but now they're requiring you to put these other screws in with these nuts. So you put that through, it matches in the back, You put that little nut there. Sometimes they come with these nuts and sometimes they don't. And since I open this up, I need to get a different screwdriver. So we just put these in here. Okay, we tighten that up. Let me get a different screwdriver. Okay, so you just get another screwdriver. This is your regular screwdriver. Okay, tighten it up real nice and tight. This actually supports the receptacle so it doesn't break out, but I've never had one break out even with that one screw, but the code changed and so we follow the code. This is going to be interesting. We're going to put this right here, but as you notice, it won't fit. So, which way's top? We want top to be like this. We want up to be like that. Good. So what we're going to do here is we take this, and since this is aluminum, it's a heat sink, we just go ahead and cut it to fit. Okay. This particular one won't fit. So we break it up. Okay, there's my ground screw. What we're going to do is do this. So I keep my ground screw, or my ground pigtail. Okay. Okay, we're still a little. Okay, still not quite there on this side yet. Okay, good. Okay, on different dimmers, you've got this ability you can break off tabs if things don't fit. And I'm looking to align these holes. Okay, I think there we go. Okay, well, I got one screw there. Okay, we're still looking for another screw that doesn't seem to be here. It seemed to be missing in the pack. That's okay. One thing about this is you got to improvise a little bit. And actually, you just take one of these long screws. You can either cut it off, take this, and it just shorten it back up. And we'll go ahead and see if we can get that in there. If not, then we'll have to use one of the long ones. Okay, so we're making this. I'm showing you exactly what happens right out of the pack, especially if you run into problems, which we did. Looks like we ran out, we lost our ground screw on that. But in any case, if you do, let's go ahead and hook it up. Everything's connected through the screws, so I think we'll be okay. So we're going to hook all these grounds up. Just flip that up like that. And we'll just twist these. This came with 3 wire nuts. With this, the last one I made had 4, so we're going to have to add one that didn't come with it. Okay, so all the grounds are all connected. The neutral off the receptacle is connected here too. Okay. Now, the dimmer. We want, let's make let's see, which one's the top? The red one's going to be the dimmer. So if we take one of the wires for the dimmer. Okay, this is the hot wire. And this is the wire that's going to, I'm going to make this hot. Yep, okay. This is going to be the hot one. And these 3 are going to connect together, okay? So the red one will go to the one side of the dimmer. And I happen to have another wire nut. This is the hot. This is going to go connected to the hot side of the receptacle. And this is going to connect on the other side of the dimmer. The dimmer will work in series. So if we get all these wires together, get them to go. Okay. There we go. Check your always when you put these wire nuts on, check, make sure every wire doesn't come pulling out. Okay. It doesn't come pulling out, so you don't have any problems. Now we're going to pull this screw out right here, which is in the box. Okay, so we take those out. Okay, we're going to turn this so that it's up right side up. So it's going to, the box will be like this. We're just going to fold the wires in. Right like this. See, we're just folding them in. And just kind of get them in there, you just push it. And see, everything goes down nice and snug. Put that screw back in. And we'll go ahead and put this screw in right here too. Okay, nice and tight. Okay. Now I like this. They've got 3 different colors. This is what they call a white. This is ivory, and this is a beige. I like going with the ivory color, even though it's kind of looks it looks totally different than what you would think. So I'm going to put the arrow right up top, so then when I'll make a mark on here so I can adjust it. So if you want it on, you push on, and this will control this particular receptacle. Okay, let's see if we can get something to hook up to this that we can use. Okay, we're going to use this. Okay, if we plug this in, it plugs in. This should be my hot. It's on all the time. There you go. That one works. This is my dimmer. Okay, let's. Okay, got to turn my heat gun on first. See it? Adjust it right down. Okay, there you go. This is now complete. One thing is I would put a sticker down here that this is your 120 volts. This one's over here is your dimmer. And you just plug this into your hot glue gun and it'll control your temperature. And then this also gives you an extra receptacle to plug in anything you choose. But the reason I decided to make this is one thing is it took a whole $15 worth of parts, brand new parts that I bought at Menards, which is similar to Lowe's, I think in the West. And I think I could buy the same thing from them, a light dimmer on a cord for about $10 or $15 also. But this is very durable. It's going to last. You've got more control, and it gives you an extra receptacle so you can have it at your workbench when you need it. But I hope this works well. There was As Soul's Dream asked me to do this and create a different thread. I'll go ahead and put this on RC Powers. But this should work, and I'd recommend anybody to make it. It's simple, it's easy, and it'll serve you probably for your whole modeling career. So happy flights.